Gather, veterans. It's time to join the fight. The long war begins.
This is The Long War. I'm Robbie B, and joining me once again are my partners in crime, Kenny Boucher, Stephen Four, and Mike Haspel. What's up, guys?
Just keeping it icy. I beat Juice to it.
No, you definitely did. Yo, shout out everybody, man. It feels so good to be back in front of the mic. I'm hollering at everybody right now.
Yeah, I guess I'll form the head coming in last.
No doubt. Well, before we jump on into it, we got a great show for everybody tonight. Tons to talk about for recap, webcast recap. We got a lot to talk about with some new shifty Eldars and some crazy dwarfs, some Team Yankee, and a whole bunch of other stuff going on as well. But let's take a quick pause and hear from some of our sponsors.
Dear veterans, quickly, make your way to thelongwar.net and find out how to reap your hard-earned spoils of this long war. For our allies at secretweaponsminiatures.com have rewarded us all with an extra 10% discount on all Secret Weapon Miniatures merchandise. So stock up, dear veterans, and enjoy.
All right, and we're back. In today's Tabletop Market Watch, we got a lot going on. Now, there isn't that much 40Ks coming out from G-Dub, but Forge Worlds got some super sweet Raven Guard action coming out. They got that sick Primarch coming out, Corax.
The Chaos. He's Chaos, though, right?
He sounds Chaos.
That name is so Chaos. I can't believe it. They are obviously these are the guys that ran away from Instaball from that Vibers bombing, are they?
Sort of, yes.
They weren't.
Yeah, they got messed up really badly.
They weren't those guys that ran because they had jump packs while their brothers died and fought like heroes, are they?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
They got messed up really badly too, and then there was some playing around with duplicating gene seed, which may or may not be viewed as heresy, depending on where you stand.
Why can't they just admit that they're with Chaos now?
So is a slippery slope.
Off on the side tangent, there is a German medieval bagpipe band called Corvus Corax, which is dope as hell if you've never heard them.
I have not, but I got to look that up next to.
It's like half metal, half medieval bagpipe music. It's insane.
I'm watching it on my phone right now. They're amazing.
Yeah, pull that one right up. And they got the Dark Furies too, which are pretty badass looking kind of veterans with some crazy looking lightning claws. They're elite troops. Those will be out too. And then me and Mike were talking about this, the Forge World Masterclass book, the new volume 1. Well, I guess it's air quotes Horus Heresy Masterclass.
I heard that they had contacted Juice and Luke to put that book together.
The barely tabletop quality.
Absolutely.
You joke, but Juice was over here making fun of the way I cook, and I was like, "Yo, this is barely tabletop cooking."
Oh.
Nice.
Yo, and then literally all of a sudden it made sense.
Yep. You're
Click.
Is this why this is so offensive to everybody else who's a painter?
Yeah, it's why is it everybody really gets mad when I'm like, I paint my basing and my flocking on with, green paint. It takes out a step. People look at me like I'm literally crazy, and I offended them like I insulted their mother. It's like the same concept when I'm in the kitchen and there's 7 people standing in the kitchen all laughing, joking, and it's like I'm trying to get work done. And they're like, oh, but I do this and I do that. I'm like, if y'all don't get the fuck out of my way right now, this is not optimal.
Well, I knew something was up because he's like, hey, you got olive oil, right? And I was like, I think is that cooking oil? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, I got that. And then he looked and he's like, where's your cooking oil? I was like, no. It's a spray.
True story. I asked for olive oil. He's like, oh, yeah, I have it. And he's like, oh, yeah, it's right there. It's in that can. That's a spray. And I was like, you're talking about Pam? That is not olive oil. All right, step 1, bring my own stuff.
Yeah. You're next level cooking, and he's barely tabletop cooking.
It's true. Sponsored by Chef Mike, the microwave. So it all started to make sense. So now we know. But Another thing we got to talk about tonight is the Doom of Mymeara book, which I guess has been out for a while, but we're going to talk about that one. And then Mike's got some Team Yankee, that sweet World War III, future-esque what-if game. Got some news on that one.
Yeah, so like right now, just this is a very quick update. Some of you folks, if you're looking for the A10s or the infantry or even some of the M113s, there have been some delays getting them out. They're about a week behind. So if your FLGS does not have Team Yankee, it doesn't mean they went away. It is literally coming from the Antipodes, long way away. So it is a little bit delayed.
That's not too bad.
No, it's not too bad at all. It's just a slight wait. You probably don't have all your stuff painted anyway.
Yeah, there you go. That's way better than Fantasy Flight Games is, quote, the ship the new Star Wars ships are on the boat. Like, on the boat. What the F does that mean?
Nobody uses boats.
Where are they on the boat? Get them off the boat.
Dude, Fantasy Flight, the struggle is real because they'll be like, oh, this game is coming out. I'm talking about Rebellion. It's coming out really, really soon. It'll come out this quarter or whatever. And you're like, when's it going to come out? And they're like, 2016. Maybe.
This quarter in 2016.
Yeah.
Which quarter? This quarter. You said it last quarter. No, I said this quarter, dog.
No. Stay with me here.
But I love Fantasy Flight. They don't make anything bad. So
Generally not.
True story. And obviously people do utilize boats still. One of my biggest clients, Chris, he's a sea captain.
Oh,
and,
nice.
he's the guy I'm painting this Green Chaos for right now that I'm almost done with. So I do know that they still contract people to, what do they call it? Drive boats. He drives.
Become seaman.
He becomes a seaman. He seamans the boat, like 30 days at a time. Then he comes home to 40K models that he paid for.
So he's like Merchant Marine, like for real?
I don't know exactly what he does, but I do know like he'll call me like on New Year's, or not call me, but like email me. Be like, I'm in the Blight of Brienne, like off the tip of Africa, bribing my way out of port on New Year's with 3,000 cigarettes.
Wow, that's real, dude.
I'm like, what?
That's real. Thank you for your service. That's hardcore. People don't get thanks for that, but they keep things running.
It's true. We got to get our stuffs. They're like the 18-wheeler trucker drivers of the ocean, just way bigger.
Way scarier too. He sent me pictures when he was like, oh my God, I can't remember where he was, but he like sent me a YouTube video or a Facebook video that he took on a ship. Literally, I shit myself watching this video of like the waves, like the swell, like the boat was like going up, like straight up, like 30 feet, and then cresting a wave and going over it. And I'm just like, I would have literally crapped my pants.
I love it because Kenny's like, I was talking to one of the guys I'm doing a commission for. It's awesome. He's literally basically sea captain in this boat right now, and like messaging me and stuff like that. And he's like, yo, check out what I'm driving through. And he's, or piloting through, whatever.
Can I send you that link?
Yeah. And it's like whatever the action of driving or manning a boat is called, that's what he's doing. And he's like, I'm like, dog, I'm pretty sure it's illegal to text and drive.
Yeah.
It's damn sure unsafe to be manning a
videoing
boat while you're messaging about 40K in under 12-foot swells.
People go to jail for that here, dog. You need to put the phone down.
Yeah, but literally, I'm not going anywhere. There's a chance you might be.
Ocean is big, y'all.
True story.
Oh my God. But
before we go any further, and I know we've got jam-packed, so we can't literally, it just came to my mind. I don't want to waste too much time with it, but R.I.P. David Bowie.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt.
Wow, are you kidding me? Like, that is...
Well, and Lemmy from Motorhead, he just died too.
Man, like, Labyrinth was my shit. Growing up.
The Goblin King?
Two rock icons have just passed away within 30 days of each other. It's like, why does this happen?
Yeah, dude, it's...
Oh, does that mean there's going to be a third? Aren't they? Doesn't it always happen in thirds?
It's always thirds. You're right, man. It's rough. But yeah, but David Bowie was the truth. Lemmy is God, as everyone knows. So, a rough month for the music industry and entertainment industry. But hopefully they'll bounce back. They always do.
Yep.
taking us to, I guess, on that note, webcast recap.
All right, we're going to start it off. We got Lamont Lillard just checking in. He had some family commitments interfering, so he just wanted to jump in, say hello, and wish us a happy new year. So that's always appreciated.
Didn't he just have a new baby?
Yo,
I
he
think
did,
so.
man. Absolutely, like hands down, love Lamont and all the stuff he's always working on, and God bless him and his family.
Yeah. Next, we've got David Tishnai out of Chicago asking, what is the best color, the best airbrush color for Plague Bearers? Like he's wanting to do, like, Nurgle. So,
Well, basically, what I like to do is there's a dark green Crayola. It's called dark green, and it goes really well. It sprays really well in the Crayola
Airbrush set,
brush.
the one where you use your mouth to power the air.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And what I really like about the Crayola line is they're not misleading with their colors. When you're looking for dark green, you just grab dark green. Or
Yep.
light blue is actually just light blue. Some of these other paint lines, they get a little confusing when you're like, I really would like a light blue, but it's like, or a skin tone is like dwarven flesh. Actually, what is dwarven flesh? Why don't you just say light pink, dark pink?
I'll tell you straight up though, David. My Plague Bearer Nurgle recipe doesn't use airbrush ready paints. I use Privateer Press paints for that. I use Trader Green, Thatchwood Green, and I use all manner of yellow highlights after that. But I almost exclusively use the Privateer Press line for my Nurgle colors.
well,
And
there you go.
We just did we just posted up a video tutorial on doing the Plague Hulk.
Yeah, you can see literally all the color. If you just go to thelongwar.net, sign up to become a veteran right now, you can see all the videos 2 weeks early, and you can always catch them 2 weeks late with approximately 1 billion ads on Next Level Painting's YouTube page. But don't forget, like, it's a billion ads because I gotta feed my puppy too. But if you don't want to pay for ads, or if you don't want to see ads, you can pay us. You can see it on longwar.net. Plus, you can see it 2 weeks early. So, I mean, Plague Hulk was a big deal. It was one of my favorite tutorials I've done.
I really like that one.
It was a big fun. But anyway, I don't want to detract from the webcast recap here.
Yeah,
No,
we've got a
absolutely,
ton of
but-
stuff to get through.
But spoiler alert though, like, yo, Kenny, like, that is like pro tip, not using airbrush paints and like giving secret tech on what you actually do when it comes to it, because that's kind of like the cheater's way, I guess, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, on the subject, yeah, you're right. Like, there's a time and place for airbrush paints, and when I'm going, for some reason, with the Nurgles, like, you're going heavy washes, heavy dry brushes. I just haven't found airbrush paints that stand up to that abuse. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that is definitely true. Next up, we have Amos Hansen, and he was just commenting that it's kind of sad that Eldar went from being hard but rewarding to play to OP in both new editions, and I'm like, yeah, I feel your pain. I'm not shedding a tear, dude.
Well, I don't know. There was
First off-
there was a 3-week window where they weren't good in 5th edition. Like, and the whole time they've been an army, so they've always been OP as far as I can tell.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say there. I was like, I didn't want to call Famous Amos out, but like, I'm about to call you out, Famous Amos. Literally shy of the 3-week during, and I wouldn't even say it was 3 weeks. I think it was more like 11 days at the beginning of 5th edition, where they weren't as necessarily as competitive other time. But shy of 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, all the additions, the Unkillable Falcon.
Yeah, the Super Falcon was 4th, wasn't it?
Yeah, yep, absolutely. Into 3rd, going into 4th. 3rd was
Third
all
was
about
they'd have all the
and
Eldrad and the Avatar combo.
they would have like 3 Wraith Knights, 3 Wraith Lords,
3 Great Lords.
100 dudes screening, and they'd have 1,000 Star Cannon shots. Like,
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
And
that was actually a problem. That's why they reduced the shot output on
Yeah.
the Star Cannon.
yeah. And in their defense, they don't get to now in today's meta, they don't get to ally with every other Imperial army. So
no defense needed because they have ghetto rending. They get to move again, and then shoot, and then move again.
they get to move, and then they get to move in the movement phase, then move in the shooting phase, either before or after shooting. They get to pick. That's so strong. And then half
And
the
then-
unit then half their units get to also go 2d6 again in the assault phase after shooting. So like,
You're really not gonna like to
And
find
then
out.
and
what
then
they can
move
do in the
again
steamboat.
in your shooting phase.
yep. Yeah, some of their units get to move in yours. Yeah, they don't need any help. But yes, you're right, Amos. It's a damn shame that they can't just be like they were for that 4-day period of fifth edition.
Yeah. For those 72 hours. Damn, those 72 hours.
Then we've got V1 Omega. He says he spent $400 over the course of the last 2 years.
Oh, that's cute.
I know, it's adorable. Starting a new army, but it didn't even work out. He's been playing Chaos since 3.5 edition and noticed he likes tough, fast psychic armies.
There you go.
And any recommendations for an army out there? And okay, we got to take back our little dig at him spending $400 because he is 16 and the struggle is real. I'm like, the struggle is indeed real.
Damn. First off, who did you stab for $400?
Go
I didn't have
money back.
$400 when I was 16.
Did you, Haspel, did you say that Omega 1 has been playing since 3rd edition?
Yeah,
That's
wait a
what it
minute.
says.
Wait a
He's
second.
playing
Wait a second. Wait a
Chaos
second.
That was like
since-
10 years ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
let me tell you, I started when I was young, and I felt like I was kind of smart. I started when I was 13 or 14 years old, and I was playing the second beginning.
There's an inconsistency here because 3rd edition was at least 15 years ago.
No, he says
Yo.
Chaos 3.5, so that could have been 4th edition.
That's right, 3.5
So
codex.
2005, 2004.
Yeah, so it's plausible. He could
10
be-
years ago.
No,
I
we
believe
weren't
him.
playing.
You would have been sick.
No, 9
we-
years ago.
2003.
No, more than 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Easily.
Well, when was Chaos didn't get a new dex till
No,
the
it-
5th edition, right?
2003.
No, it was like the end of 3.5 was like basically 2004.
Mhm.
Like that's when I moved to Colorado and like I couldn't win with Chaos anymore. Like I remember that day very clearly. It was very upsetting. So, congratulations, Omega. You've been playing the game since you were 1 year old.
Yes. So maybe
Or,
what
sorry,
the
6 years
statement was, we should have asked during the webcast recap because maybe he was 16 years old when he started playing.
Oh,
at
yeah.
5.
Yeah,
I think
that
this
could be
now,
true.
after backtracking, I feel like this is more of a sensible than
Yeah.
if not, you are literally. I have played with the
The
NASA
genius.
scientists before.
So
you
got it.
now have
So-
surpassed him.
So let the record stand at $4,400. Oh, that's cute. Sorry, bro. Like I spent $200 at the airport last month. Like,
And on a side
And-
note,
No, and all you got was 4 Annie Ann's pretzels, 2 large lemonades, 3 sides of cheddar cheese, and parking.
yeah,
cheese always costs extra.
yep. I didn't even get a beer. Nothing.
No,
Yo, back in November, I did the math on it, and I think it was you could buy all of the ships in X-Wing for $525.
Wow.
Now that's gone up. It's probably closer to like $650 now.
Still, that's all the ships.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty
That's
intense.
crazy.
That's like, imagine how much money it would cost to buy all the models on 40K.
No, I don't even want to go there.
I mean, where do you even start? Where do you even classify all the models? I mean, I don't even. Wow.
Oh my god, it'd be so
Think about
I'll
that.
tell you what, guys. When I win the Powerball, that's going to be what I'm going to do. I'll buy all the models.
Buy one box set of everything GW makes for 40K.
Honestly, if I did win the Powerball, I would just buy GW.
Bet.
Yup. Hire us.
Please hire us for rules committee.
Then Coach chimes in. He's saying that the inside the mind of the gamer bat reps is the truth, and it was like really nice to see. You know, he knows like about the list building. But it was really cool to see why a certain unit or why you employ a certain unit the way you do.
Yo, absolutely. Like, I just like to spend a second and kind of like going in hard on Coach's statement here is like, yo, literally that is the epitome of why we did and have started the In the Mind of a Tournament Gamer. Is like, we want to show anybody in the internet and our trolls out there and everybody else can like get on the internet and say this unit sucks, point blank, without an explanation. Or, oh, you're playing X list, just go ahead and take this. He's good. So guess what? People don't take that because people say it sucks. And furthermore, people take this good unit because all of a sudden, yo, it's the best, but they don't know how to use it. They don't know how to put it in actual gameplay. They don't know what happens when randomly you're faced with something, you know. For example, Kenny faces in round 2 against a Blood Angels opponent. There's literally no way that you would ever in your Beats laboratory think about gaming against, you know, or this. And so you're shooting off the hip a little bit, you know, with the army breakdown, your movements and everything else. So it's all about having a game plan and moving forward. And it is what we try and strive for whenever we go to these events.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of that in any game. I mean, you see it in Magic, you know, with these top tier lists. You see it even in X-Wing now with, you know, everybody out there is running Paul Heaver's championship list from November, you know, and they're just like, I don't understand how, you know, to protect this stress bot, Y-Wing, whatever. And some of you don't even know what that is, and I apologize, but
that's a great point though. It's like, you know, you're taking this guy literally is a regional champion or national champion, and everyone just copied his list.
Yep.
And they can't win with it.
Right.
They can't win with it. It's like what, you know, we told a story earlier on the webcast because we were talking specifically about Be'lakor in my chaos list, and someone had called me out saying Be'lakor is so OP, he's broken, you know, chaos, you know, like, I mean, it was a fun conversation. It wasn't like trolly at all, but he still believed that Be'lakor was OP. And the story I told was like how when Rob, who is actually a veteran of Chaos, hadn't played any new Be'lakor rules, he started playing Be'lakor on my advice because I fell into that trap where I was like, Be'lakor is the best, period. And Rob was like, he's not. He literally dies every game. I don't understand. And then it didn't hit. I didn't understand until like this Inside the Mind of a Tournament Player, where I was able to like walk my two friends, Juice and Rob, through the game because I played the game and they were watching it for the first time after it was edited. And I was like, damn, you know, I should have explained these things a little bit more clear to Rob about Be'lakor, you know, like instead of just saying he was the best at the end of the story. And so that has given us an opportunity to show you some of these things. Like people are going to counter things. There's going to be counters out there. Everyone's doing their best to beat you. And ultimately what it comes down to is flexibility, and Inside the Mind of a Tournament Player is allowing us to show you not only the flexibility of our list design, but the flexibility of our minds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And lastly, going in, unless somebody else has anything to say about it, is like to showcase that. So again, we're literally not just saying things without giving you some point of reference. If you haven't already logged on to longword.net, became a veteran and able to watch it, or go to YouTube and check out the video, of course, with ads.
I think they're all on ads right now.
Okay, so like, but what you get to see is how Kenny, with his 350 point Be'lakor, always leads with Be'lakor. You know, he literally uses him as basically the point for his army, and moves the rest of it. Like, depending on where he wants to go, that's where the rest of his army goes.
Yeah, for me, that was the most exciting part to see, was how he projected the power of Be'lakor, and people responded accordingly. Like you saw in the last game, like, you know, Welsh kind of like when his line started to fold, instead of pushing, he kind of folded back with the line, and because of that projection of power. And I was just like, whoa, Eldar just got pushed in the corner. That is not good for Eldar.
That usually never happens. And also another thing is, like, he showcases, it's like, just because you have, like, let's say infinity power, aka invisibility, like, just because you are the Emperor and you have the ability to shoot lightning from your fingers doesn't mean you're always going to use it. Or Yoda, you know, bounce around, kill stuff, doesn't mean you're always going to use it in the most OP, like, 1,000-point unit. Invisibility is only good if you put it on a 1,000-point Death Star. But literally, Kenny showcases how invisibility on a 50-point cultist unit will win you 2 out of 3 games.
Yeah, fair. I mean, that's a fair point, and that's why we. It kind of was a happy accident. Inside the Mind of a Tournament Player, we promote that type of comments on YouTube. Please, you know, don't hesitate to ask those types of questions. You know, challenge us on our beliefs and what we're doing, because it is the whole point of the battle reports is to help people up their game. We do a painting tutorial to help you guys paint. We do hobby tutorials and unboxing videos, a podcast, and of course we do battle reports to help you guys get better tournament play.
Mm-hmm.
The whole trifecta.
Yep, and when the new books come out, like we're doing tonight, you know, like we'll do a feature on there breaking down the rules, the stuff you need to know, you know, the chafe, the stuff you need to know.
Yeah, always got to powder the balls. Hate the chafe.
Sure enough.
But, you know, a spoiler, You guys, the next In the Mind of a Tournament Gamer is going to be with me and High Fleet Lexus.
Yeah, so we're gonna go from chaos, which is obviously unwinnable, to Tyranids, and the Tyranid army is not gonna be playing. I don't think any Flying High Tyrants.
No, absolutely not. Like, yo, this is some stuff that I've been letting the beat build, and the videos that you guys have been watching and stuff like that over the last couple months, with Optimus Prime, Swarm Lord, the Damasheron, some Ravagers, like there's going to be like some secret text and some of that stuff that I try to showcase in potentially like a vacuum in the Beats Lab is literally going to be put out on the table for 3. Absolutely have no idea who I'm going to be playing. Could be anybody in any kind of list. And I'm going to show you guys some text, that will help you get through your games one way or the other.
I love that. I can't wait to see those. I can't wait to be a part of that, those videos. But I think we're not even halfway through our webcast recap.
Yeah, we got a couple more. So we've got James Stagg checking in, and he said that this is high praise. He said, when there's something wrong with the Long War subscription, Robbie B is there like Spider-Man. So
yeah, everybody gets one.
That's right. Everybody gets one.
ROBB.
Yeah, the sickest rapper alive. Robbie B actually doesn't sleep. I've decided this as well. Like, he is always plugged into the Matrix. His eyes are closed. He potentially might snore every once in a while. But when he snores and his eyes are closed, that just literally means he is fixing web pages.
Yep. Like I always say, time enough for sleep in the grave, man.
Mm-hmm.
Evan Van Dyke checking in also. He says he asked, did anyone else buy those $17 Windsor and Newton paintbrushes from Amazon?
Ooh, so
and these are like Sable level artist brushes for those who don't know. Like they're high quality. Supposedly
it's like the straight Series 7. Like these things normally go for the set normally goes for like $130 some. And I saw somebody posted on the Spikey Bits Hobbies Facebook group. And I was like, yo, I got to get that. I've been procrastinating joining Amazon anyway. So I jumped on there and got it. And they're coming out in like March or whatever, but I don't care. I'll wait for that deal. I mean, it's $20. So, yeah hopefully they ship.
Because I bought some of the Da Vinci stuff in the past. And this stuff, man, that sounds fantastic.
Mm-hmm. I'm stoked.
I can't wait to buy some myself. I typically use like dollar store paintbrushes for my operation.
Well, I had just bought 2 of their brushes for like $16 each.
Damn, that's brutal.
Yeah.
I've literally never spent more than $6 on a paintbrush in my life.
Yep.
I just want you guys to put this in perspective that I literally have one paintbrush
that you've been using for 17 years.
I without a lie, I'm not going to try to exaggerate absolutely anything. I have painted to my nids, High Fleet Lexus, is 6 coats: bleach bone, chestnut ink, regal blue ink, green, camo green, and flocking. Those are my 6 colors. What I mean, 5 out of those 6 colors are applied with this one brush. I painted over 20,000 points of nids, 11,000 points of demons, 6,000 points of Skaven with one brush.
I've seen it. It's brutal. It's like the gnarled forefinger of an old witch.
Yo, Kenny's like, how do you paint eyes with this? Well, what I do is I put the brush sideways in red paint and get some of those curly Q like bristles that are coming off to the side. Right,
and then it just jams them in there, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
You are killing me, Small.
Yo,
you are killing me.
I am laughing because I think it's funny, but I swear on everything that is holy, whatever God you believe in, swear that's exactly how. And it is the epitome of barely tabletop. People come out, it's like, oh man, I love your nids, I love this and this, like, yo. This is a true story.
Once you explain to them how you painted them, they like literally walk into a bathroom and cry as they realize how many hours of life they wasted.
Okay, seriously though, go to like Michael's and get some brush soap and it will hook your
the-
brushes up.
Yeah, the
and-
Master's brush soap, that stuff's legit.
Yeah, so just do that. It'll extend the life of your brushes and restore them. And oftentimes, if you have a brush that is busted, that you're like, oh man, this is no good, I got to toss it out. The brush soap will restore it back to where it used to be.
Yep.
I need-
It
I
may
need-
just
I
take
need
a
to buy
little bit of
some.
work. Sorry.
I do have a favorite brush right now, and I definitely it's on its way out. So you tell me brush soap.
Brush soap might fix it. I'm not saying it will, but it's worth a shot.
Sometimes you got to really work it in.
And the thing is you can
I
get
always
like
do.
they come in a little container like the size of a dip tobacco container.
Yep.
And that you buy one, it'll last you like your entire life.
Yeah, I've had the same one for probably 6 years.
Yeah,
Nice.
it lasts forever.
Word.
I keep it right next to my cooking spray.
We've got David Murray checking in. He said he was checking in for the first time live, but we were goofing off tonight, so we were not able to get to him.
Oh.
But he said he was building Dark Angels, and he's like, does anybody have any great ideas for what to do with the compulsory assault squad that is in the Lion's Blade?
Oh,
And I think we looked that up. The Lion's Blade's the Demi company, like their Demi battle company.
yeah, it's basically the Gladius, but you still have to take 2 of the Demi battle companies to get the freebie transports.
So in that format, you need to take 2 assault squads, basically.
You'd have to take 2 of the Demi company, so you wouldn't be stuck with 2 assault squads, but you get free transports. Yeah.
So I think what we talked about is like a unit like an assault squad in this type of army, like you really don't want to waste points on it because you're trying to get as many Razorbacks in there.
Yeah, so it's a kind of tax, right? I mean, basically.
Exactly. And so we'd say basically one of the only unique things about Assault Marines versus Tactical Marines is they could take 2 special weapons in 5 guys. Now they can't take meltas, but they can take flamers. And they're really cheap upside. So 5 Assault Marines with 2 flamers, you can put them in a drop pod and then come in on turn 1, or you can buy them their jump packs and they can start rolling on turn 2 to come in and deep strike the same way and then be mobile. So it'd be up to you. I think the point of the matter is the moral of the story is if you want to use them, you're either gonna have to give them jump packs and deep strike them, or you're gonna have to put them in a drop pod.
Yeah, I'm thinking the jump packs, especially for Maelstrom missions, might be better.
Because coming in not turn 1 is an advantage for sure in those situations. Like I don't want to come in turn 1 with units that actually suck, you know.
Yeah, definitely keep them alive as long as you can.
Word.
And then wrapping it up, we've got Lady Slanesh, Melissa, asking, she was just stating that she's waiting on the Long War dice and she can't wait to get them because they're going to be her new lucky dice.
You know what I love about Melissa is that she's first off, she's our only lady listener that I'm aware of.
Yo, I just checked the stats for Spikey Bits via the Google, which steals everybody's clicks, and 3% of Spikey Bits readers are female.
So,
That's good. We need those lady gamers, man. We don't need this sausage fest.
Yeah, I'm tired of this sausage festival. So we do have some interesting news on the dice front. Kickstarter, successful, wrapped it up. We have thanked you guys 1 million times, and we continue to thank you. We're in the process of manufacturing all the sick-ass T-shirts, the Keeping It Icy hoodies, the stickers, the templates, everything, right? So we have some good news and we got some bad news. Here's the good news. You are going to be getting dice in the form of exclusive one-of-a-kind prints that we're not going to offer anybody else. The bad news is they're not going to be the black dice with the white pips. ChessX informed me that they're completely out of those, and it'll be a long-ass time before they get them back. So we made an executive decision here to quickly redesign them to be the ivory eggshell off-white, like the creamy white bone white dice with the black pips. So still kind of the same color, the black and white theme that we were holding through, but they actually look really striking and they're going to be one-off. You guys are going to get them. They're going to be special edition. They're going to look a little different than you expected. So all the early bird people got the black dice. All the people who bought the dice legitimate through bundles and through other orders, they're going to get the white dice. And we promise to keep them exclusive to you, and we apologize for the inconvenience, but these will be in your hand. I promise you soon, because we're not going with those black dice, which they said to us might be available in March. And with a
We don't like might.
Not to mention that there's multiple weeks of manufacture time, and they said might in March, like, we ain't about that life.
Mm-hmm.
So latest and next, you're going to be getting some fresh collectible dice. They're going to look amazing, and they're going to be your lucky dice. Which
should be going out very soon from the Kitty Cat Command Center.
Kitty Cat Command Center. Anyway, guys, let's take a quick commercial break. We got a lot to talk about here on the other side.
Dear veterans, quickly make your way to thelongwar.net and find out how to reap your hard-earned spoils of this long war. For our allies at dicehead.com have rewarded us all with an extra 6% discount on all dicehead.com merchandise. So stock up, dear veterans, and enjoy. Veterans, have you been by thelongwar.net lately? New spoils are piling up. Sign up at thelongwar.net and claim your code to unlock valuable discounts at your favorite wargaming stores. Our friends at kingshobbiesandgames.com have added to that horde. An additional 5% off their already low prices. Sign up for free. thelongwar.net.
And we're back. Rob, is it time to do the meats and the potatoes?
Yep.
Got the meat and two veg.
Meat and two veg.
Got them meaty potatoes right here.
Oh my God. We're talking about Goldmember, 14K wedding tackle?
No, we're not. Today, kids, we're going to talk about the new Doom of Mymeara book. Because, well, they just needed to make Eldar better, I feel like.
Eldar was easily one of the worst armies of 40K.
Yeah, totally. It's so funny.
As we showcased earlier in the show, is like we definitely let everybody know how Eldar at one point in time was a top mid-tier army for 48 hours.
Yeah, fair point. For 48 hours, they were just okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were still better than 6 of the other 11 codexes.
I mean, I'm not even sure why, because this was technically Imperial Armor 11. So there's like the Badab War, there's the Orc book, there's a whole bunch of stuff in between that they could have redone, but they jumped to this one, maybe because they wanted to sell Eldar models. I don't know, but they did clarify a lot of rules. And
what
they actually,
Eldar models are left? I mean, their warehouses got to be depleted.
It's true. No, but some stuff obviously is different. Like a brief overview, this book contains the Corsair Raider list, which is an independent detachment in and of itself. You can't take stuff from there in other armies. And then they've got new units for Eldar that you can take as, basically in an Eldar detachment, or you can, take them as Eldar allies to other Eldar things that they're battle brothers with, like the Harlequins or the Dark Eldar, something like that. There's also 2 new Heroes of the Imperium in here. Well, not new. They have recently been updated.
Wait, Juice, say it. Say your word that you wanted to say. I know you had something for this. What was it?
Twofer.
You got a twofer.
Twofer.
This is literally. There was literally like 17 words that were going through my head when we were talking about like
penis, poop, dicks.
Literally explicit.
The things that go through men's minds.
Feel this is a good old twofer because outside of all that pile of steaming shit, we get something really cool.
I mean, personally, I think it's all cool because it's exciting for the folks that already had.
Look, it gets hard to stay positive like we are about positivity, and positivity is a force of nature. Like positivity is like water, like it carved mountains. You know what I'm saying? Negativity doesn't get you anywhere, but it does get hard to stay positive when yet again an Imperial Armor book comes out, and it's got a whole shitload of Eldar rules, making Eldar even better. When we're still waiting on a Chaos Codex, an Orc Codex, everything under the sun. Like, I'm salty. It tastes of the sea.
Salty as shit. Like, this is literally how I'll put it in perspective for all my football fans and stuff out there. It's like, I'm going to equate to Eldar as the New England Patriots.
They fucking suck and I hate them.
Right? So, like,
worst.
Furthermore, I'm going to say Bill Belichick is a Wraith Knight, and Tom Brady.
No. Who's the guy who wrote the Eldar Codex?
Oh, it's not obviously Phil Kelly. It's somebody else. So you're right. That is kidding.
That's
way
Bill
better.
Belichick.
Bill Belichick is the chief editor of the Eldar book, and the Wraith Knight is Tom Brady. So Tom Brady has beat my Panthers and that duo has beat my Panthers in 2003, 2004 in the Super Bowl. So, but you don't know what I say, and I've come to grips with they hate us because they ain't us. If you actually don't like Tom Brady and the New England Patriots, you just don't like winners, right? That is just true story. They just win. That's all they do is win.
They're just big, hairy American winning machines.
Winners. Okay. Furthermore, you want to talk about rules and stuff? The tuck rule was created during a game where Tom Brady was getting hurt. They literally came up with a rule and call it the tuck rule, that you cannot touch a quarterback in the process of what they're doing because of that. And they called it the tuck rule because of this. So literally we're talking about a OP-ass unit being that tag team duo that now rules are getting created when grown men are involved saying that they can't do something, and they're already doing all this for the winners. They have allegations left and right about cheating, this and this, literally. So to put this in a 40K, aspect is like, we've got the best, and they're getting all the best rules, and they're getting all the best loopholes, and they're getting all this. So yes, I respect the Eldar because they're winners. The Eldar race, they're a bunch of winners. Okay?
I feel like I have to hire Juice to just take the NFL and put it in 40K terms, because I don't understand sports ball, but now I do because of what you just said.
Like, literally, this is where we're at. But it's like, yo, when you face that one Wraith Knight, you're like, yo, you are the truth. I hate you. I hate you to your core with your shield and your D weapon. And in as much as I want to do something to go against you, you're smarter, you're better, and you're gonna outplay me. So that's exactly what the Eldar race is. So yes,
I'm on my tablet right now ordering an Eldar army, and I just listed my Chaos army on eBay.
So I like it because all those folks that bought those sweet ass looking Corsair models that completely sucked for the 4 to 5 years that this book was out previous, and all those Shadow Specters, which while they're not super on par with the rest of the Eldar book, the Craft Worlds book, they did get a little bit better. Now you'll be shocked to know that there are some nerf bats. They did nerf a few things that were a little OP. And we were on the receiving end of one of those. The Lynx last year at Adepticon, we got our asses spanked by it. It's not that good anymore. But that being said, it does warrant going over this book, because there's folks out there that want to, take that and make that Corsair Raider force, or they want to take some of these units that they had previous and see how to work them into their Eldar, or just the rest of us that want to know how to beat these new Eldar units. I feel like, and there's 2 new Imperial heroes. Did we talk about that?
The twofer.
The twofer. So
yeah, that's what we talked about, right?
Yo,
Yeah.
break it down for us.
Basically, everyone that Tom Brady and Bill Belichick are the twofer, right?
Yes, that is the combo. That is the cheat sheet combo. Like, yes, they are.
Me and Juice are gonna start a blog tomorrow about this.
Yes. Where to start?
Well, I've been teasing Juice all night that there was a new Imperial Guard commander in here, so I'm gonna make fair on my teasing and tell you all about him. So he is a general of the Acadian 6th. He's 55 points, and he's an HQ guy. And
coach.
He's a coach, yes. What's cool about him is that he can be chosen to replace anyone's senior officer in a company command squad. So
interesting.
So you can basically sub him into that company command squad, which I thought was pretty neat.
Additional points, or what's the deal there?
Yeah, he's 55 points base, and he is he's the normal company commander stat line and everything, but he does come with a Power Fist standard, which I think is 15 or 25 points normally.
Yo, obviously on a strength 3 model, that's amazing.
Clearly, and they're always going to get in combat. It's mostly there for looks,
And also,
okay?
just in case you didn't know, company command squads are 5, toughness 3 dudes. The end.
Mm-hmm.
End of statement.
So he does have a pretty neat rule. It's called Supreme Commander. So he can issue 2 additional orders per turn for a total of 3 orders per turn.
Mm. Juice. What do you think? But still, okay, here's my new thing. Before I hear anything else, Steel Host plus this guy plus 3 blob squads where you have 150 guardsmen with 15 las cannons. Right? It's they all preferred enemy, and he issues the ignore cover order to all 3 blob squads.
Yo, yes, absolutely. Like, and it's not even just like that. It's like I played against somebody who came at me hot, and was like, I've got a blob squad with like 30 guardsmen. It's like, and I misfortuned you. I misfortuned your unit. Guess what? now this one guy allows me to issue ignore cover.
First rank, second rank, all 3. Yeah. Oh my god.
You know what I mean? It's like, are you kidding me? Like, I don't care what Wraith Knight you are, what this or this. Like, you get shot with on the upwards of 180 rending las guns. Like, that's putting in work.
Yeah, it sure is. Another cool thing about him too is that if he is your warlord, which may or may not be the case with Juice, because I know you're probably going to take Passy as your warlord, but
absolutely,
if he is the army's warlord, you may choose to reroll the dice in any attempt to seize the initiative.
So, like, Robbie B, I love that as a trait, because you want to know what? I can't tell you how many times it's like, just because I take Pask as my warlord doesn't mean that's the only way to play.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, like, what I love, and this is just such a passion of why Astra Militarum is, like, taking over for me right now, is there is so many ways to play that book that isn't even being seen between the blobs, between the elite list, between the armor company list, everything else. Like, Pask is literally just my favorite. That is not, but it's not the end all be all.
No, there's different ways to run things, and a lot of people forgot that there was that formation in the Red Wog book. The Steel Host.
Oh, absolutely. And so, like,
dude, I didn't know it existed until I saw Austin A-Dog, go to the finals in the Long War League.
You're like, where's that from?
It's like, that's fresh. This shit is so tight.
We actually had a lot of our, and again, they're not trolls because they're actually just asking true questions. They're like, Austin can't do that. He can't do that. It's this and this. Well, everyone kept thinking, like, hey, just so you know, Pask, preferred enemy is just him and his squad. It's like, it is actually the Steel Host. Maybe you didn't notice that stupid single Hydra that he had over there in the back corner.
There's a reason.
Why did you think he took that?
Yeah,
because he was. It was the tax. This is a 75-point tax to have preferred enemy bubble.
Yes, absolutely. So, I mean, there's so many things, and like, is the ability, one more time, Robbie B, to re-roll the Cs?
Mm-hmm.
So is that as if somebody, if you are the Caesar, or
yes, you have to be the Caesar.
Okay, so like, some people.
So that's ghetto Cody is.
Yes. So like people, namely like me, I love the ability, and people pay 100 points to try to get that. Like, that is huge. If you are taking an army, and IG, Astra Militarum, is so good for this. So go with me on this. It's like, they are so good for building a castle where they are perfectly okay for going second because of how their build is. They have board control. They have blob. They are protecting their big units from the deep strike, from your drop pods with all their blob members. They have dug themselves into cover. It doesn't matter if they go first or second, and I like playing lists like that. But they know that they can deploy that same way if they're going first or second or not, and they still have the offensive capability with their orders, with their tanks, with their wyverns, with their las cannons, with their, it doesn't matter what it is, that they can still put out enough offense on turn one to really do some damage.
Yep. No, I totally agree with you there. So the second part of the twofer is this guy called Bran Redmaw, and he is a Wolf Lord. for the
Yeah,
Space
that's
Wolves.
what I was about to say. That's a Space Wolf. Dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Space Wolf name right there, son.
Yep, it sure is. And he's pretty dope. He's 210 points. He's an HQ slot for Space Wolves. He's got 2 profiles. He's got his Bren Redmaw profile, which typical Wolf Lord stats.
Oh, yeah, this guy's awesome.
Is he the guy who can turn into a werewolf?
Yep.
Oh
my gosh, yes, he is so cool.
Yep, he is super dope. So basically, they've updated his rules a little bit, cleaned up the rules. So before, at the start of each controlling player's movement phase after the first turn, but before moving any units, roll a d6, adding +1 for each friendly unit with Space Wolves faction is locked in combat within Bren Redmaw's line of sight. So basically, the red mist comes over him and he starts to go nuts and turns into a werewolf. On a 5+, he uses the Redmaw profile for the rest of his games, whereas weapon skill 7, strength 6, toughness 6, initiative 6.
Wait,
6
so he rolls every turn?
At this at the start of each of the controller's controlling players' movement phases after the first turn, for each friendly unit with Space Wolves faction is locked in combat. So it really doesn't kick off until,
Wait, but he says roll for every unit in close combat, so he gets like multiple rolls a turn?
+1. So it's 1 roll.
So he rolls it no matter what, but
Right.
it's +1. Okay, I was hoping there was a modifier.
So hopefully, he doesn't transform.
So this works in a drop pod army. You drop in, you get the classic, Company of the Great Wolf drop pod spam. You could literally do, you could literally hit somebody with, 11 drop pod army from Company of the Great Wolf easy. Have him in there, drop everyone in, get everyone to close combat on turn 2 or turn 1, whatever. Pop him into this monster. He's good to go. You get to play him.
Well, +2, you can kind of game it, if you want to, because it says within his line of sight. So, you could position him to do some shenanigans, maybe to not transform, because when he's not transformed, he has +1 strength, AP2, melee, shred.
But he turns into a monstrous creature, though, doesn't he?
He does not get that designation, so he still is kind of safe in his squad.
Oh, what? That's so different. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, but he does get the Ren special rule, and of course, Fleet, Eternal Warrior, Feel No Pain, and Furious Charge. So he's going to be strength 7 on the charge, Eternal Warrior, Feel No Pain, 2 up, 5 up. So it's pretty solid. I mean, 210 points. I
want you to know I would take this guy all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. So this guy sounds so cool. Fucking cool. It's not even funny.
Oh, he's super cool. And they actually never put the model out for him. They had a mock-up of it, but they never put it out.
His secret is he's always angry.
Yeah.
Yo, are you guys ready for this? I want the fans to know that this isn't pre-recorded. We didn't know that this is what we're going to bring up. Football terminology. Yo, he is Adrian Peterson. He was winning champions before he hurt himself, before he got angry. He literally tore his ACL. He got pissed off and turned into a Wolverine. And guess what? He won two league leading rushers after the fact that he tore his ACL. He's pissed off before. He's even more pissed off now.
Yep.
I just want to say something super important. I don't know how important this is, honestly, now that I think about it retroactively. I want to say something that's real, though. As an adult male, I've cried 3 times in my life. All 3 of them were during the scene in The Avengers that Mike Haspel just quoted. I watched it 3 times in theaters, and every time I cried, openly wept during that scene when he's like, "But you better get angry, Hulk." I'm always angry. And he turns in and just haymakers that shit. Literally.
Yo,
all the times as an adult I have cried were in that movie.
I want you guys to know, like, true life story of Juice. So I'm sitting there, I was driving in one of my multiple drives of going to wherever I am. I drive like 15 hours a week for my food truck and food and whatnot. I'm like, "Kenny, what's up, man?" And he's like, "Man, I need to tell you something." I was like, "All right, man." Like, cool. Like, he's like, "I need to tell you about the first time I cried as an adult." And I was like, "All right, our relationship has moved to this point." So let me have it, man. He's like, "So there I was watching the Avengers in the movie theater, and the Black Widow was tied up. she so elegantly got out of what she was doing, got pissed off, and demolished 3 grown men just because to try to come to the aid of her man. It literally made me come to tears. I was like,
when she made Loki, like,
yes,
hey, man, when she double agented Loki and like was like all like crying and you're a monster, and he was like, you're the one who brought the monster. His play is for the Hulk and walks away. I was like, I literally immediately called Juice from the movie theater.
Yep.
At 12:30 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
While it was happening, you know, like this is day one. It's like, Juice, something really important happened.
This just wake me up from a 3-hour sleep that I've been in. Like, yo, dog, I'm here for you. What's going on? I just need to vent right now. This was it right there.
That moment. Oh my God. Even right now, like.
But y'all, hey, look, do me a favor. Y'all don't tell nobody else. This is
Yeah,
this
it's just
is
between us.
This is just us. There's the 4 of us and you.
And 3 cats.
Yeah, you can never watch Doctor Who. I cry every weekend.
No, like I was actually about to say, as I was thinking about the Avengers, I was like, well, I don't count Doctor Who crying because that's a given.
Yeah, that's a given. You're gonna cry during Doctor Who. It's just
I've seen 7 Doctor Who episodes. I can never think about crying in any of them because I'm too stupid to understand what the fuck is going on. I don't know shit. I've tried. You know, I've been in the room.
I don't get that show
people.
either, dude.
Dude, I'm sitting there in the room with people that I play games with, poker with, watch football with, everything else. I'm like, I am them. They are me. We are the same people. They're not smarter than me. They're not. And literally, they're like, oh yeah, hocus pocus, quasi bam dom, and all this shit, and angels weeping and all this shit. I'm like, dude, I don't know what is going on. Why am I the outcast right now? What is happening?
It's an investment. Like it's a long journey. Like yes, like I understand you, Juice. Like I was right there with you years ago with 2 shows specifically, Doctor Who and Firefly. And I had not watched either show, though everybody in the nerd community watches both shows. Firefly specifically.
Yes.
Mike Haspel made me watch Firefly finally after like being beaten down by like Ender and everyone else around us, all our boys, Josh and everybody. Watched it, was like, yo, it's literally the greatest thing ever. And then finally, Haspel was like, okay, I think you might be ready now. I was like, for what? He's like, Doctor Who. It's like, oh, that's that silly British show. He's like, it's not silly.
The Force.
So,
it's true.
He made me go all the way back to the beginning and start, you know, like from not all the way back in the beginning, but 2005 beginning. And, yo, literally, I can't even count. Like, I don't count Doctor Who crying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you can't. Like, it's just so dumb. Stupid Matt Smith and stupid David Tennant being so awesome all the time.
It's absolutely unbelievable. Like, I'm literally playing role-playing games, like a 3.5 D&D, like so into my characters, unbelievable. And like my DM is like the most gangster, sick and twisted, demented individual where it's like everybody is your enemy, even your own, like people, everything. Like, yo, my mind is prepped for this. Like, I am fully prepared, and I watch 1 episode of Doctor Who and I go full blown, can't even understand what's happening. I start drooling. I don't know, you know, what's going on.
We'll squeeze in a couple episodes of Doctor Who after.
Speaking
a couple
about
of games and anachronisms.
Yo, spoiler! Yo, great idea, Doctor Who Fest after everything else for the Adepticon social.
Yep.
I'll be drunk enough for that.
Rob, I'm sorry. I know we're supposed to be talking about the new Eldar OPness.
I mean, you guys don't care.
Okay.
Here's my plan for dealing with Eldar. I said it on the webcast. Like, I'm going to go to the LVO. I've got my tight Grey Knights and Cult Mechanicus army. It's dope. I think it's real. I face an Eldar player. I'm basically like, okay, like, can we end this? Because I got to go to the bar. Like, that's my strategy.
I'm going to play some anachronisms back in the room. Okay, so now let's seriously do this. Rob, tell us why you think this codex is good. You have exactly 10 minutes.
Like rules wise or just in general?
Well, you've been the only one who's positive about it. We basically hate it, and we rather talk about the Avengers. So you tell us, why we need to care. You have 10 minutes.
Yeah, so it's got two different army lists in here, which I thought was neat because like you're getting two different codexes. There's the Corsair Raiders list, which is laid out very similar to, remember how the Harlequins came out, and it was just you had like. You couldn't really take HQs. It was like troops.
They had their own unique shit. Yeah.
So they did something very similar for the Corsairs. They call them coteries, and they're inside their own detachment.
So Robbie B, I love the fact that like I loved the Harlequins. I love that aspect.
Mm-hmm. They're very similar.
Yo, you know, like I loved how like unique they were, and so like these coteries that you're talking about, like I love.
Yep.
I love the fact that, you know, the Corsairs have that own aspect, because the only thing that I can try to get behind that I would actually like when it comes to the Eldar book are these like sub chapters that will actually bring some coolness to the game instead of like stupid ass OPness.
Yeah, I agree with you there. And this is kind of doing that because you have this one detachment that you could kind of build out to get a specific specialization. The whole detachment itself is objective secured, so that's kind of a bonus.
And that's the Kuda detachment?
Obviously, the Kuda detachment has objective secure because why not? Every Wind Rider jet bike in the whole army. So whatever, got it. I'm used to that. Continue, please.
Well, I'll just go ahead and say this. Every Kuda detachment I've ever played with has been the objective.
Yeah.
Secured.
Secured.
So I don't even know what it is. All right. So anyways, so they have specializations. And what's cool about the specializations is that you cannot give these you cannot take the same one twice. And that the command, basically your core, or they call it the command crew, which is the command coterie, does not get the benefit either. So basically what they're making you take just to unlock these other coteries, you can't buff. So it actually seems to be balanced. And furthermore, each individual coterie is an allies of convenience to each other. So you can't stack the deck, so to speak, take all these crazy benefits and then just fill out these individual force orgs and kind of go back and forth, because and I think, you know, they play tested it, air quotes, because they saw what could happen, and there's actually a little bit of brokenness when it comes to psychic.
I was about to say, like, obviously standard negotiation tactics. You just gave me something. You just said, hey, all this bullshit is not they're not battle brothers.
Mm-mm.
See, they know what they're doing, but you're saying that because the next thing you're about to say actually proves that they're broken. Please continue.
So they have a unit that's called a void. What is this little guy here? Oh, first off,
void cooters.
Yes, void cooters. So first off, for HQ, you have to take a Corsair Prince, which is basically an autarch, you know, or you can take a Baron, which is basically the next one down, the 50-point version. So this guy has a little ability, and I did an article today about it. You have to take a specific an option to, at no extra points cost, that basically specializes your prince. And one of them is a Traveler of the Forgotten Past that allows you to take this little piece of war gear called a multi-phase key generator for 25 points. And any other character in the same detachment can do it for 25 points too.
I'll tell you, Doctor Who is not approve of the name of that war gear.
The key generator?
The multi-phase key generator?
Oh, is that
that sounds like Time Lord technology to me.
No, it most definitely is. So a model with this multi-phase key generator gains the deep strike special rule. In addition to that, instead of firing any weapons, it allows the controlling player to place a webway gate marker anywhere within 3 inches of the model.
What?
Okay. This is in the shooting phase. You do this in the shooting phase. Any friendly non-vehicle unit from the same detachment that enters play from reserves may choose to enter play within 3 inches of the webway gate marker as it is entered play by deep striking, but without rolling a scatter or for any mishap. Furthermore, any friendly non-vehicle unit that ends its movement phase with all models within 3 inches of a webway gate marker that is not falling back may choose to immediately go into ongoing reserves. So it's a two-way street. They can come out and they can go in.
That is pretty serious. There's a lot of tactical elements. There's a
So-
lot of tactics to that.
At
Yes.
this point in time, this is when all the haters chime in about Deflategate. This is when all the haters chime in about Bill Belichick recording people's practices.
So immediately I reread it and I'm like, wait a minute. Did they just say non-vehicle units? I was like, so you can take Wraith Guard, Wraith
Yes.
Knights. So immediately I'm like, what are they doing? And then I go and look at their choices and they can't take any Wraith constructs. So I was like a little bit relieved at first, but then I realized that it still allows you to do a lot of shenanigans because when I looked at the psychic chart, there's a whole new psychic chart, a psychic discipline chart for these guys. And it's only specifically to one model called the Void Dreamer, who is basically their bone singer,
David
for lack
Bowie.
of a better term. Yeah. So
Did you say David Bowie?
yes,
Dreamweaver.
Dreamweaver.
That's what it said. It's literally
Yeah.
David Bowie.
I was hoping you said that. Yes. R.I.P.
So, yep.
Too soon. We'll miss him. So listen to these psychic power. I'm not going to read all 6 to you, but I'm going to read what I think are the best 4 to you.
Wait,
So
how many psychic powers?
there's 6. It's a full chart.
Oh, 6. Okay, I
Plus
thought
a
you said
primary.
60. I was like, what?
7.
It's my southern drawl. So the number 4 power is called Webway Breach. It's a warp charge 2. This power may target any friendly unit with the Eldar Corsairs faction within 12 inches of the Void Dreamer, including the Void Dreamer themselves, that is not locked in close combat. That target unit is immediately returned to ongoing reserves.
So good.
Okay. Now, there's a little bit of a snafu. If you look up ongoing reserves, it says if you come in via ongoing reserves, you must, I think you must deploy, I forget the exact wording, but you must do it at the start of the turn. But then there's this terminology in here with the multi-phase key generator that says you may deploy out of that webway portal. So it's like, well, which takes precedence? I don't know.
Well, no, you can do what it means is.
Are you
is that
shitting
if
me? You can rinse and repeat?
You can not
No,
only
what-
that, but depending on how you look at it, you can bounce out in the psychic phase.
You can come through any webway portal or the board edge.
Right. But think about this. You're performing these actions in the psychic phase, then you're bouncing back in during the shooting phase at a better position. Same turn.
Damn. Wait. You can go through the web. You can come through the webways in the shooting phase. That doesn't make sense.
Yes, the multi-phase key generator
that's
activates
right,
in the
yeah.
shooting phase.
Yeah, Time Lord technology, man.
It sure
Time Lord
is.
technology, no doubt.
So yeah, it literally, and so like, let's just plug and play anything from that book.
Deleted scenes,
Warp
bonus
Fighters.
content, and all
There's no
the
Warp
interviews and post-game
Diary.
wrap-up
Yeah, you
videos.
this is
could be
only for
located
the
in
Corsairs
Hall of
detachment. They
Veterans.
don't.
20 Guardians with ghetto ending.
I was
Visit
getting ready
the
to
longword.net
say, like, let's go
and
all the way
try a
back
week
down to
completely
whatever
free,
they
no
fucking
strings
have.
attached.
Well, remember
That's not
Eldar
all.
in and of
The
itself,
longword.net
minus out the
is
Wraith
also
Guard,
your
minus out the
hobby
Wraith
resource for
Knight, the
exclusive
Aspect
early
Warriors are
access
solid, the Guardians are
with
solid.
ad-free
Like everything in that book is
to
pretty
all
much
your
solid. Now they
favorite
have,
videos.
and they have
Members
the
of the Hall of
Scapwikes, and
Veterans get
Scapwikes can
early
utilize
exclusive
this.
access to multiple
Yo, I
hobby
just want you to
videos.
know, like, at this point in time, and normally of the conversation, I would say I drop a single tear for something that I feel sorry about. But my heart is full of hate and hard blackness, and there's no tears happening right now.
I'm not into this whole like leave the table then come in behind me and shoot me with 60 rending shots. You know.
The number 5 power, it's called Warp Tunnel. And what that is, the Void Dreamer's controlling player selects a point anywhere on the tabletop, placing a large blast marker, the 5-inch template, at that point. Either the Void Dreamer and their unit or another non-vehicle friendly unit with the Eldar Corsairs faction, so again, can't be race constructs, within 6 inches may be immediately moved to the point chosen.
What?
Anywhere on the tabletop, as long as they're within 6 inches of the Void Dreamer, basically bounce there, deploying under the blast marker as though they had arrived by deep strike, but do not roll for scatter or deep strike mishap. Now, here's where they attempted to balance it, but you can do the quick math on this and realize it's not balanced. For each multiple of 6 in the distance between the original position and its new location, roll a d6. On each roll of 1, the unit suffers 1 automatic wound, saves taken normally.
Oh my
Okay.
God. What a
Cops
waste of
about-
rolls.
Yeah, what a waste of Robbie B's
5
breath.
minutes of my life.
Yeah, I was like, they tried, but they failed on that one. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, what a waste of absolute. Good job, GW. But I'm not gonna hate. I'm not gonna hate.
You might not
Because-
like this next power. I'm just throwing it out there.
But wait, there's more.
All right. Number 6 power is called Webway Maze, Warp Charge 3. This power may target any enemy unit within 12 inches of the Void Dreamer that is not locked in close combat. The target unit is immediately placed into ongoing reserve.
Oh my god.
What?
I literally hate them.
What?
Please, is this a malediction?
No.
Is it Witchfire?
No. I
It's
don't know what it
not-
is. It doesn't
tell me-
classify itself.
It has to. What does it say?
It just says Warp Charge 3.
It has to have a classification. All psychic powers have classifications. So either blessings, maledictions, or witchfires. This sounds like a malediction. If this is a malediction, this is the most OP
Yeah, but
psychic power.
it's 3 warp charges.
It's 3 warp charges.
You know, you're not gonna
Yo,
get that
summon-
off. You're not gonna
summoning-
get that.
Yeah, say that to any
Summoning
demon
demon-
player who gets a summoning.
Yeah.
Like, say that to anybody who's got a farm of 30
Dog.
plus psychic dice.
This
I'm trying to
complete-
stay positive, man.
This
You're not gonna
complete-
get that
I got
off.
some
Well,
positive for you. This positively will remove your entire army
Death Star.
from the table.
Yeah. First off, this is anti-Death Star.
Oh,
right out
yeah.
the gate. Death Stars don't play. You literally, if you have a Death Star, say goodbye. Literally, because like this is my shit right. Because you can take this, you take the Red Corsair just to have the one. Is it one guy in the HQ section who can do these powers?
It's 0-1.
So this guy, you can only have one of these guys.
Yep, but you can upgrade into Psychic Mastery 3.
So there's a chance. So
50% chance.
well, but the thing is, you can
No.
only, so this.
So he must always select at least one power from the Aethermancy discipline presented below.
Oh, so okay, well, that's word.
Oh, good.
I mean, like you can take three. You can take three. Let me put it this way: you can take. What's the minimum amount of guys you can take to get this guy out of Red Corsair?
You could literally just take him and a troop.
Okay, him and a troop, one detachment. Him and a troop, another detachment. Like I'm just saying, LVO rules, right? You can take 3 detachments.
Excuse me, it would be him and another HQ and one troop.
Okay, so him another HQ, one troop. Him another HQ, one troop. Are they battle brothers with any other Eldar? No.
They treat other Eldar that are not they're in their individual coteries as battle brothers.
Yeah, so word. That's fine. So you take the minimums. You take 2 of those guys plus an actual legit Eldar army with all the other stupid shit they have, and now you have 4 rolls, I guess, because of the ether table you were just talking about.
Correct.
So you have 4 rolls to get this one power, and you auto win against.
Well, no, it
GG.
says they must always select at least one power from this discipline below, and may choose to select additional from divination or telekinesis.
They have to. So they must. So ether is the table that has this power on it.
Yep.
So they can roll all 3 times on this power.
Theoretically, yes.
What do you mean theoretically? Literally.
Yes. Yes.
It says they can roll at least 1 or may. Got it. All powers. So you take 2 of these guys, you roll 6 times on that chart, you get this power. You GG any
You
stupid
can't take
Death Star.
2. Yes,
you can. I just told you 2 detachments.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I was just saying, like any tournament format, you literally take this guy in HQ troop, this guy in HQ troop, then you take your normal stupid Eldar army with a billion jet bikes and a Wraith Knight and all that other bullshit. You have 6, and then you put these guys in, tuck them in with some dope squad because they're battle brothers with Eldar. Literally, no Death Star in the army can stand up to.
And the weird part is that you can take, so you could theoretically take 1, 2, 3, 4 because they're 01 in each coterie, which is basically treated as a separate detachment inside itself.
Any stupid psychic powered Death Star Eldar army in return will now have these guys in it.
Yes.
So, like, let's put this.
only one Death Star in 40k matters now, and that's the Eldar Death Star.
So, like, I can't even start to be. So, like, I'm gonna look at it from another point, where I've got 4 flying hive tyrants, and
First off, they're all gone. That's why I asked if there was malediction. If it's a malediction, which we have to determine real quick, because if it's a malediction, then all your flying hive tyrants, your Bellicors, everything goes into reserves.
What I'm saying is, I'm gonna take 4 flying hive tyrants, and I'm gonna ally in this coterie, and get this guy.
Attachment. Right? Yeah.
And literally now, What we're saying is just
is that you've upgraded his warp charge points by eight.
Yes, I'm literally.
No, it'll cost you
I'm
90
walking
points
off
to do that.
My
but-
psychic abilities,
Mhm.
you know, and I'm literally gonna go like, are you kidding me? Like, we talk about how powerful invisibility is. That is making a hit on the
This
table.
is probably more powerful than invisibility.
This
It's
is
the most,
definitely.
It's literally hands down, without even question, the most powerful thing. It's as powerful as
Lash.
the dreaded 13 in fantasy. It's as powerful as
the
Black
Lash,
Sun.
last
Yeah,
edition,
Mhm.
last edition
Chaos.
Chaos, the Lash of Torment, where I can move your unit 2d6 inches. Remember that? The
Oh
Lash of
yeah,
Torment?
yeah. With
This
demons,
is the Lash.
the Lash.
This is the Lash. This is Chaos Lash. This is back when Chaos was still good. This is in 40k terms. That was the most broken shit ever. Was the Lash? You take 2 demon princes with wings with the Lash, literally unbeatable. And now we have something even more ridiculous. Like your squad goes back into reserves.
No, yeah, like we are talking like
That is 2 turns. You turn off a Death Star for 2 turns with this one move
you will
because they can't assault the reserves.
that spell. So I got super pissed about it for a second, and then now I just laugh because it will not be allowed.
Well, unrelated, the Culexus Assassin retails for $37, and you can get the Execution Force for like $100. So,
True.
just gonna throw that out there.
Culex's Assassin. The thing is, everyone always talks about the Culex's Assassin being good, but since everyone plays ITC, and which is limited yet restrictive, you can only have 3 detachments. Nobody ever is willing to give up one of their attachments for that guy. But simultaneously, like I said, they'll just ban it. Even though I don't think it needs to be banned, because honestly, Death Stars are one of the major problems with 40k. So this could be potentially it could be like one of the it can be, remember the Tri-Land Raider conundrum, like back in the old DA codex?
Mm-hmm.
No one actually played that army, but because it existed,
People
freaked out and it changed the meta. This is, to me, is that. Like, I don't know how many people can actually play this, but like, yo, you better think twice about your Death Star. Like, don't play. Basically, more of the story is stop playing Death Stars.
I think
If you don't play Death Star, this doesn't really affect you too bad.
You know, I'm looking at this, and I think you can, per detachment, you can only get one of these Void Dreamer guys.
Yeah, I mean, I assume that the most you can do is take 2 detachments again, but it's ridiculous. If you can only take 2 of them, if you take 2 of them in your stupid Eldar army, it's really, and you get that power on one of your guys. It's in objectives, like literally, you're unbeatable.
Kenny, I have a quick question for you. How many guys of those can I have in a unit or have in an army? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I can have in an army. That is stupid ass power. It shouldn't belong to the game. There's a chance you can get it. It doesn't need to be there.
I agree. See, and game design, game theory.
Now,
I've always said that the least amount of movement that you do to your enemy's units, the better for the game it is. That's why I always said Lash was stupid, pure bullshit. It was because like you shouldn't be allowed to like move somebody else's models. Like you shouldn't be able to like interact with their models in that way. Like there's 3 phases, now there's 4 phases in the game. You need to just like do wounds, you need to crash in them, but you should never do something that changes the way that unit like moves, like or remove them. And this is a bad game design rule.
Now let's.
Because you want to talk about feel badsies. People feel bad when you can't wound a Death Star. People feel bad when you make a lot of saves. People get fucking infuriated when like you're like, yo, take that squad off the table and put it reserves.
Take that 1,000-point squad off the table.
People like the last days. I'm gonna move it 2d6 back that way. Actually, let me move the models for you because you're not doing it right. Like that shit.
Just period. Let me take that objective security unit off the board. Let me take Bellicor off the board. Let me take that. Yeah. Let me take your Night Titan off the board. Let me take your Hive Tyrant off the board. Like literally, it is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's pretty bad.
Now they attempted to balance it a little bit by introducing a new Perils of the Warp table, which greatly revolves around Slaanesh eating their soul. So the moral of the story is there's no leadership check. If you roll on this chart, like it's bad for you. Like a 1 is you're just dead, and you're replaced with a Demon of Slaanesh.
Who controls the Demon of Slanesh? Because if you still control it, that's not that bad.
Controlled and is controlled by the remaining of the battle by the opposing player.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay, that balances.
Yep.
Okay, so if you roll a 1, that just happens, no leadership check.
Yep. Now 2 to 3 is they fail the penny test and go to ground, and the opposing player chooses a new target for the psychic power that the model is attempting to manifest.
Oh.
Oh, holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay, I wish I had heard all this before I went off on this fucking 25-minute tirade.
4 to 5 is the warp terrors. All friendly units with a faction Eldar Corsair within 6 inches, which will probably be, most of the army, must make an immediate morale check, rolling 3d6s, keeping 2 highest dice to determine the result.
You mean everything is bad on the chart?
Yeah. Oh, and hold up. Number 6. The Psyker gains the attention of the Slanesh. Anytime they roll on perils, anytime they roll on the warp table, if they roll doubles, it's it's a perils. So it's kind of like they're using demonic.
Hold on. I wish you'd. Oh my god, I sound like an asshole. Okay, this is not that big of a deal.
Yeah, because there's 3 warp charges, and you're gonna have to throw all the dice at it.
So on average, you'll get a 2 to 3 maybe, and then they'll get to choose.
Yo, I'd love to see half your. Oh, I'd love to see half your fucking army break.
So
That's you.
Wait a second. So I'm gonna try to be the realist in the group. It's like, all right. So do the psychic buffs that the Eldar come with their? I get to keep 1 dice back as long as I use their psychic hooks or whatever that.
They don't have. Do they have that war gear option? These Spirit Weavers.
No. They don't have that kind of technology.
Oh shit. Okay, so I feel like I'm not that worried about this all of a sudden.
All right.
True.
Next question. If I perils, does the power go off no matter what the?
Yes.
I think they FAQ.
You resolve the perils, the power goes off. So if you roll the 1, he's dead. The power still goes off.
Okay.
So that guy can never do it again. You've gone ongoing.
Next point.
If he rolls a 5 or 6, or if he rolls a 6, or if he rolls the middle ground, the 2, 3, 4. If he rolls a 2 or 2, 3, then you change the person who's. It's a penny check, and you change who gets affected. Right?
I think that was. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
It is really random, honestly. Like it's not worth trying to pick up 2 of these guys out of the book to add to your Eldar army, especially with the fact that you have to roll 6 times just to get the power, which is not guaranteed, as we all know. And you have to roll 6 times to get the power, not guaranteed. And then it's a level 3 power, and you perils on any doubles, not just
if you've rolled up previous perils and you got a 6, you're perils on doubles.
Oh, so initially it's just normal peril.
Initially it's normal, yeah.
But still, it's 3. It's a power 3 power.
Well, remember the first time you roll a perils, like you're rolling on that chart, and that chart's brutal.
You got to roll 8 to 9 to succeed. Like that's just what it is for demon players. Like I mean, all of a sudden, this is the most balanced part of their codex. Is this new perils chart?
Yeah,
let me tell you what. If this perils chart was like the perils chart, I wouldn't have this like love affair with like.
There wouldn't even be a problem with invisibility, to be quite honest.
I wouldn't even play games with it.
Exactly. Like the risk is not worth the reward.
Bellicor would be straight useless. 350 points of garbage.
Yep.
Steamy pot garbage.
But you still have other
visibility is nowhere near as powerful as that. Like this is the new shit. This has to have a perils chart like that. I'm glad to hear about this balancing perils chart.
Yep, I don't think it's too bad. Now, there's other units and stuff and other shenanigans they can do with like some heavy weapon troops. They got the scat bikes. They have a new type of cannon called Dissonance, which is really interesting, but it's not like OP. It's a Strength 5 AP4, Heavy 1 pinning Vibro Pulse. And the Vibro Pulse is, if you roll a 6 to hit, it's +1 Strength, -1 AP, multiplied by each time a model in a unit does it. But it's only Heavy 1, so if you're taking it every dude with it, you might roll that once, so it might go up to Strength 6, it might go down to AP3, but it's not
so it's
OP.
Not that good.
Yeah.
Not OP.
So that's the big stuff in the Corsair army list. They do have an interesting mechanic. It's called the kinetic shroud. It's basically a 5-up invulnerable save for vehicles. If they flat out, it becomes 4. If they deep strike, it becomes 4, and it's rerollable for that turn against shooting attacks. So that's the major stuff that's in there. That's worth mentioning. It's super fluffy. There's a lot of cool stuff in here. Like I said, it gives you an opportunity to play with those Corsair models that are so dope looking and so better than the freaking Guardians themselves. And some of the other stuff like the Wasp walkers with the fully enclosed cockpit, and it's just neat. It's a neat little rule set. And then there's a whole nother one which we can talk about next time or whenever. The actual Craft World Mymeara war host formations that basically are interchangeable with the Craft World Codex.
Well, I'm excited for your enthusiasm. I'm kind of mad at you though for making me sound like me and Juice like we're stupid people.
Well, I mean, that's what you would see. That's what you would see. That's what happened to me. As I was reading this shit, I was like freaking out because I was like, wait a minute. And I'm like furiously like flipping pages, like trying to get to the bottom of it because I was like, this sounds really bad. And then I'm like, oh, okay. They balanced it. It seems decent.
It's rough. No, I mean, but I think it's balanced. Hearing that Harold's chart. Hey, listen, guys, this is one of the longest episodes we've done in a while, and I wouldn't try to like tell us to stop talking normally, but we do have a limit. We do pay for a limited amount of data on Libsyn, and it's pretty much exactly the amount of time we spend recording this right now. So I want to congratulate you guys on a great show. I felt good about that, but I do want to turn the floor over to Juice for an update.
Absolutely. Thank you, man. So obviously I wasn't here last week. I was spending time, some personal time with the family and stuff. So I just want to start this out by saying thank you to all the people who have personally hit me up and hit us up on the Long War Facebook page and whatnot, who's basically there for me through my struggle that I'm going through with my father and his fight for cancer. About 7 days ago, we got really bad news. 9 days ago, we got some really even more epically bad news that the cancer has spread and it's doing major work on his body right now. And the last little bit is definitely hit home and realize how hardcore this is. This is a fight that potentially isn't going to end up well. I wish I had some positive news. I wish I had a magical cure that they were going to tell us, but it's not. It's cancer is terrible, and I hate it, and it is doing the worst of all worst that I could imagine to him. So that is what the struggle that I'm going through every day, and so it means the world to me that the flood of messages and positive feedback and everything else from everybody out there, including you guys and everything else that I've gotten, it definitely helps my day-to-day operations to keep a smile, going through my regular life. So thank you. I appreciate it. It means a lot. And please, I will definitely keep everybody up with updates. And hopefully soon I can say something positive. But that's kind of where we're at.